Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into what's really happening with Austin housing. Now, you've probably heard the talk, right, that things are slowing down, and well, yeah, overall that's true. But here's what's interesting. It's not the same story everywhere. Some spots are actually, still pretty active with buyers. So our goal today, break down the specific data, look at the sources, and show you what's really different between these areas.
Exactly. It's so tempting to just read a headline and think you know the whole story, but getting into the actual numbers, like we're going to do, gives you a much clearer, more informed view of what's happening. Essential stuff, really.
Okay, so let's zoom out first. The big picture. Austin area, as of July 21st, 2025, get this. Over 18,000 active residential listings. 18,001 to be precise, and then you've got about 4,350 homes under contract pending.
That's a lot of houses on the market, significant inventory.
Right. And that sets the stage. Now, we look at something called the activity index to kind of gauge the market's pulse. Basically, you take the pending homes, divide by the total listings active plus pending. A higher percentage, say over 25%, that usually signals strong buyer demand, things moving fast.
Yeah, 25% is a good benchmark for a seller's market, generally.
So the Austin area's current activity index, it's sitting at 19.46%. So what does that really tell us about the overall market pace?
Well, 19.46%, it definitely confirms things are slower overall. The urgency just isn't there like it was. It's a pretty clear signal. Buyers aren't feeling that intense pressure anymore.
Right, that fear of missing out has cooled off.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here, if you look across, say, 30 cities in Central Texas, the range for months of inventory is huge. It goes from like 3.5 months all the way up to 11 months.
11 months, wow.
Yeah, and the Austin area specifically, right now it's at 6.4 months of inventory, which basically means if nothing new came on the market, it'd take over half a year to sell everything currently listed.
6 months. So that definitely points towards buyers having more leverage, right?
Absolutely. It's shifted more towards a buyer's market, no question.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk pricing then, and how quickly homes are actually selling in this kind of environment.
Current median sold price for the Austin area is $445,500. And the average sold price is $590,836.
Okay, standard metrics there.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Compare that average sold price to the peak back in May 2022. It's down by 19.00%, almost a fifth.
19%. That's a significant drop from the peak.
Yeah.
It really shows how much the market's had to, well, readjust. It's big recalibration.
Definitely. And it must be impacting how long houses sit on the market, too.
Oh, absolutely. The price adjustments directly affect the pace. Right now, properties are spending an average of 63 days on the market.
63 days. That feels like a lot compared to a couple of years ago.
It is a lot longer. Remember homes selling in a weekend? Sometimes less. This is a much more drawn-out cycle now. Gives buyers breathing room, makes sellers work harder. And are sellers having to cut prices?
Yeah, that's another key indicator. Almost 58%. Let me check. Yeah, 57.79% of active listings have had a price drop.
Wow, nearly 6 out of 10.
And even with those drops, homes are typically selling for a bit under list price. The ratio is 97.16%. So figure about 3% below asking on average. Those over-ask bidding wars, mostly gone.
Okay, so, this raises a big question, doesn't it? What does all this mean if you're trying to buy or sell right now?
It means strategy is crucial. Buyers have more negotiation power, more time. Sellers need realistic pricing and patience.
Okay, but let's unpack this, because it's not all doom and gloom, right? You mentioned some areas are different. Even in this softer market, some places are still showing, strong signs of life. Let's talk about one specific example. The 78681 zip code up in Round Rock.
Yes, 78681. It's a really interesting contrast. The activity index there, 31.6%.
31.6. That's way above the Austin average of 19.46.
Way above. It clearly shows much stronger buyer demand in that specific area. And it connects to the inventory, too. Only 3.71 months of inventory there. Much tighter.
So closer to a balanced market, maybe even leaning slightly towards sellers compared to the rest of Austin?
You could argue that, yeah. And homes are selling faster, too, around 48 days on average.
Okay, faster sales, higher activity. What about prices? Median list price there is $566,500.
Correct. And here's a nuance about price drops. Yes, about 64% of listings there have had a price cut.
So even more than the Austin average.
Slightly more, percentage-wise. But the median amount of that price reduction is only minus 4.3%.
Ah, okay, so sellers might be adjusting a bit, but they aren't having to slash prices dramatically like in some other areas.
Exactly. The prices seem to be holding up much better overall despite minor tweaks. It suggests underlying strength.
So the big question then is why? Why are buyers still so active in 78681? It's like you said, a counter narrative.
Well, you start connecting the data dots to what that area actually offers.
Right. Like people talk about Round Rock having great schools, lots of parks. It's very family friendly. Plus, you have things like the Dell Diamond. You've got the Kalahari Resort nearby, the Play for All Park, tangible amenities.
Precisely. It's not just about the house itself, it's the whole package, the lifestyle attributes. Buyers are clearly finding value there that justifies the activity even when the broader market is cooling.
It really underlines that location, and everything that comes with that location still matters immensely.
Absolutely. So if we kind of pull this all together, what does it really tell us? It shows that while, yes, the overall Austin market is softer, you absolutely cannot paint everything with the same brush. Localized demand, driven by specific desirable attributes, can stay strong.
So understanding these micro market trends is really key for anyone involved in real estate right now.
Vital. You need to know what's happening block by block, not just headline by headline. Demand persists where the value proposition is compelling.
Well, this has been really insightful. It clearly shows how, even in a cooling market, certain pockets can show surprising strength and keep buyers interested. It's definitely not monolithic. Thanks for joining us to explore all this data today.
My pleasure, and maybe something for you, the listener, to think about. We talked about schools, parks, amenities making 78681 appealing. What other factors or, specific features do you think are most crucial for keeping demand strong in an area when the wider market is slowing down? Something to mull over.